Hi, Simon Chappell here from Be Sober. I often get asked what are the best alcohol-free drinks out there. I feel we're really lucky here in the UK in that we've got a booming drinks market that serves the alcohol-free lifestyle. When I went to America recently, there was a real lack of these kind of drinks. Yes, there's lots of alcohol-free beers and they taste great, but there's not so many botanical drinks or zero alcohol spirits. And to me, these have been such a huge tool in my journey to freedom from alcohol. So Amazon can be your friend if you're not in a country where these drinks are readily available in the stores. You can jump onto Amazon and you can find a lot of them on there. Unfortunately, it can mean shipping costs and they can be that bit more expensive, but they really are worthwhile. If you've read my book, The Sober Survival Guide, which I happen to have right here, if you've read my book, you will have read a chapter called about filling the void. And when I talk about filling the void, for me, I used to drink every evening. I'd have red wine, my son would go to bed. As soon as he'd gone to bed, I'd break out the Shiraz and drink as much as possible. And after I quit, I felt like I still wanted to have that feeling, that drink in the evening. Yeah, sure, it was a habit. So I used to like getting a chunky glass and still having a grown up drink. I just didn't want to have alcohol in it. So now in the evenings when I sit and I watch Netflix, I grab one of these awesome botanical drinks and I'll mix it with some tonic water, a nice slice of lime, and I'll dig in, I'll drink, and it doesn't even enter my head that I'm not having booze. And that tool, and it's a weird tool when it comes to quitting drinking, but that tool had really helped me. It just filled that gap that of having that chunky glass in my hand and feeling like I'm still having a grown up drink. And many people I know feel exactly the same way and have found that that has made a real difference and really got them through. So, it works for some people, for others it doesn't. I know one lady who drinks out of a wine glass still. She has tonic water with a spritzer type mixer in it, and it works perfectly for her. So onto the video, I'm asked all the time, what are the best drinks out there? And I thought, oh, wow, I've got so many of these, and I'm really honoured that I often get sent samples to taste, particularly Vibe drinks, which is this one. They just sent me this, and I've not tasted it yet, so I haven't even smelt it. I've undone the lid, and I'm excited to see what's inside the bottle and what it's like. So I was going to kind of review each one quickly. I don't want to turn this into like an hour long video, but I thought I would just look at the main elements of each product that is available. And in particular, the packaging, the bottle, which to me is important. It feels like it's something adult, something special, and the presentation and the bottle is important. Then, of course, the actual look of the liquid inside the bottle. Some of them are pretty colours, some of them perhaps don't look quite so nice. The smell, and of course the taste. And I was going to taste test each one both on its own and just with a dash of tonic water, which is how I prefer to have it. But some of them may be better with a Coke or another kind of soft drink or a mixer of your choice. So let's dive in, and why don't we start with Vibe? So there it is, Vibe. The first of all, the bottle. It feels heavy. It's got a nice chunky feel to it. It's nice kind of cork going on there. So I really like that. That works for me. I love the colour. Yeah, sure, pink's my colour. Why not? I love the colour. I like the design, the logo, and it says 100% free spirit. And this particular one is a British distilled kind of, yeah, rhubarb flavour we've got going on. So let's just take a smell. Yeah, that smells rhubarby, as you would expect. Quite sweet smelling from my initial impression. And I'll give it a pour. Yeah, I'm really getting the rhubarb in that. That's strong. Wow. So on its own, I would not drink that. That is that's quite sharp, just like biting into a stick of rhubarb. I don't think you would want to drink that on its own. Now, and it's not intended to be drunk on its own, but I just wanted to taste them raw so I can see what they're like. But let's add a splash of tonic water into that. Give it a mix. Yeah, now that's nice. Obviously, it's taken the edge off of the rhubarb flavour, and that's a good drink. I'm enjoying that. It's not too sweet. I mean, if you don't like rhubarb, then obviously the Vibe rhubarb flavour is not going to be for you. The rhubarb flavour is quite punchy through it and coming through, quite strong. But of course, you can mix that down accordingly. And I think if there was a slice of lime in there, yeah, I'd be very happy with that as a nice grown up drink to have. But I don't think I would have large amounts. I'd probably just have a very small amount of the Vibe drink in there, and then probably up to here with tonic water. But I like that. Yeah, that's a nice start. Thank you, Vibe, for sending that one through. I've got my bowl here to pour it into afterwards. It wasn't for me to be sick in, just for clarity on that one. So the next one is Everleaf. I picked this up at the Mindful Drinking Festival, where I was privileged to be able to talk about my story on stage in London recently. And there were over 100 stalls selling all manner of alcohol-free drinks, alcohol-free beers, spirits, botanicals, everything. And Everleaf, I had a try of it, just a sample, and I thought, wow, this is good. This is really nice. Everleaf describes itself as a non-alcoholic, bittersweet aperitif. So a complex infusion of the world's finest sourced botanicals. So including Madagascan vanilla, saffron, gentian, I don't even know what that is, orange blossom, and voodoo lily. Well, voodoo lily sounds a bit dangerous, but let's give it a try. I think the bottle is interesting. It's actually a different to what I normally see. A lot of these type of drinks model themselves on the premium gin type bottles, and Everleaf has absolutely not done that. It's a very slim bottle. I like the style of it. Yellow and blue. Yellow is probably not the colour, if I was producing one of these, that I would go for. But I think the way they've done it well, and it works. And of course, the content inside is a similar colour. Now, compared to the pink of Vibe, I'm gonna say I don't like the colour of it. It's a dark brown. It looks like something that you might find in a toilet, quite frankly. However, the good news is it doesn't taste anything like that. And if the trade-off for a wonderful taste is that the liquid's a brown colour, so be it. I spent over 2 decades where I was drinking beer that looks exactly the same colour, and I still drink alcohol-free beer. So I'm not going to judge a drink specifically on the colour, but if you were in a place where you wanted something that was very, very visually appealing, I suppose the Everleaf bottle and colour inside might not tick that box quite so much. By the way, I could just see the scar on my head, as some of you probably know. After I did my last video, I did what I always do. I looked on my phone, I got up, walked across the room and straight into the corner of the door, which is why I've got this mark on my head. I did post a picture on the Be Sober Instagram account, and with the blood pouring down my head, but I just spotted it while I was looking at the screen. Though I can see the scar still, but it's healing nicely. And thank you for everyone who sent me messages of concern around that. Right, so let's smell the Everleaf. Yeah, that's got more of a spicy kind of aroma going on. It's absolutely not a sweet smell, and it smells like on its own it will be quite a strong, kind of pungent aroma coming off from it. I wish I bought something to wash out the glass. I hope they're not all going to get mixed together. Yeah, that really does. It's got a really unique smell. And And I guess that's what Voodoo Lily smells like. Who knew about that? Wow, and on its own, that is very drinkable. It's thick. It's got a real thick texture. It's not too strong. It's not too sweet. You could drink that one on its own. I probably wouldn't because I imagine, I don't know whether it's sugary actually, but although it doesn't taste sweet, the fact it's kind of got a syrupy, thick texture to it makes me think that. And on its own, it's certainly not refreshing. It feels more like a neat rum or something like that, quite a thick, neat rum. But it doesn't taste like rum. No, it's a completely unique taste. It's almost hard to describe, but it's a good taste. The orange is coming through, but not strong. Like the rhubarb on the vibe was very, very noticeable. This has more got hints of orange and hints of other kind of spices and things going on. It feels like quite. By the way, I'm not like some kind of culinary or drinks wizard, so I don't know all the terminology, but I'm definitely getting different notes and different flavours going on in that, and it seems complex. There's a lot going on there. And the great news is now I don't drink all the time. My taste buds are back to normal, so I can actually taste this stuff. So let's put some tonic water in. With tonic water, I favour Fever Tree Indian tonic. I always get the light one because it hasn't got quite so much sugar in it. But there's lots of different tonics. And actually, when I think about it, tonic represents about 80% of the drink to me. And recently I was overseas, I was in Spain, and I couldn't get Fever Tree tonic. I had to get Schweppes regular tonic in the plastic bottle. And wow, the taste difference was unbelievable. The Schweppes just tasted cheap, it tasted gassy. So spending a few extra pounds or dollars on decent tonic water with this, I think is so worthwhile. Especially when you compare the cost of tonic water against the wine I used to buy, or the cost of tonic water against one of these bottles of premium botanicals. It's nothing. It's a small percentage. So let's just mix that in with the Everleaf, and that is good. That is really good. That's a lovely taste. It's just got a hint of orange going on and a kind of spicy taste with it. And it tastes excellent. And that was why I bought it at the Mindful Drinking Festival, because I loved it. Wow, yeah, that is really good. And I'm enjoying that. That's excellent. So that's Everleaf. I would give that one a massive thumbs up. And by the way, the vibe, I would give that a massive thumbs up too. I thoroughly like that. I think with the vibe, you're going to want to if you buy that particular one, you need to make sure that rhubarb's your thing. I'm not sure what other flavours they've got in the range, but definitely that particular flavour comes through quite strongly. Whereas Everleaf, it's subtle. The orange is subtle. There's spices, there's other things going on in there that make it a kind of complex blend. And it really is quite moreish, and one that I would want to definitely keep on drinking. So let's just drop these two out of the way and bring a couple more in. So here's a couple more. I will just pour that into my bowl. So let's go on to this one next, which is Caleno, and I don't know whether I pronounce it correct. Somebody correct me on that, because I think I always get it wrong. If it's Caleno or Caleno. So Caleno describes itself as a juniper and inca berry non-alcoholic free spirit. I love the bottle. It's thick. There's a big chunk of glass there at the bottom. That is heavy. I love the design around it. All of it. They've nailed it. It's just a good looking chunky bottle. It feels like a kind of premium gin product or a premium rum product. And it feels so grown up. It's not something your kids would pick up and drink. This is an adult's drink, and it works. They've done it and executed it really well. The design on it, the logo, they've got it down. So I've been a big fan of Caleno for a long time, and we're lucky enough in the UK that they stock this in the supermarkets over here, and we can just pick it up off the shelf. I know in the US and further afield it's a little bit trickier to get a hold of, but if you guys start messaging these companies on Instagram and on Facebook, places like that, or emailing them and showing them what the demand is, they're going to react. They're going to know that they're missing out on sales, and they're going to start taking steps to ensure they can meet the demand. So I think this has got to come from us. A bit like if you go into a particular bar and they don't stock your favourite alcohol-free drink, if enough people start asking for particular drinks to be stocked, they're going to react, they're going to do it. And I've seen that happen as well. It doesn't need to be loads of people. So if there's something that really takes your fancies, just start making some noise about it in a nice way. Don't shout, but start making some noise and making yourself heard and making a difference. And by doing that, you'll probably help other people discover these products and in the same way help them on their own journey to freedom from drinking. So back to the product at hand. Let's take a sniff. And I've always loved the smell of Caleno. It just smells so good. It's just, again, it's a unique smell, and it's difficult on a video to kind of get that across. But it's got like a kind of a little bit of a fruity feel going on, but not too much fruit. A little bit spicy, maybe even a kind of gin smell, but without the alcohol element of the gin. Unfortunately, this bottle has been open for a little while and I didn't leave the lid in it, so it's lost some of its smell, but it still smells good. So I'll just pour the final remains of that bottle into the glass. Yeah, I can smell it much better. Now it's in there. Yeah, it smells good. It smells grown up. It smells like what an adult would want to drink. And hey, we're not looking to replace alcohol here. These aren't drinks that are pretending to be alcohol. These are drinks that are unique. They're completely unique in their own way, and it's a whole new emerging market. So they're not trying to pass themselves off as gin or pass themselves off as something else. They are what they are, and they're wonderful. And this one is so wonderful. Wow. On its own, no way. It's too sharp, too strong. You would not drink that on its own. Whew. That's pretty intense. So again, and that's not how Caleno is intended to be drunk. I just wanted to do that from a taste perspective. It tastes almost like an orange squash, like a juice drink, before you've added water to it. It's just too powerful. It's too intense. So let's add some tonic water, which is how it's meant to be drunk. Yeah, there we are. That tastes good. That's really, really nice. And I found Caleno to be relatively sweet. It's definitely one of the sweeter ones in the selection of 10 that I've got here. But it's good. It's not too sweet, but it kind of has got that sweet thing going on. And you can taste the kind of berry feeling. Well, not feeling. You can taste the berries coming through. You can taste the kind of... It's not really a spicy one, this. It's more along the sweet side. Yeah, it's really nice. So Caleno, I've never tasted a juniper berry or an Inca berry, but from this, I guess that's what that taste is. It tastes like berries and sweet, but not punchy, not huge berries as in like a raspberry or a blackberry or something like that, where that's the only thing you can taste. There's lots of flavours going on. As I say, it's definitely one of the sweeter ones in the mix, but with the right amount of tonic water, it absolutely nails it. And I can't even remember how many bottles of Caleno I've been through. I love it. It's one of my go-to drinks, and it's very high in my rankings. Although right now, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say, as it stands, Everleaf is currently the best out of all of them. So I'm going to leave that there. And then if one of the others overtakes Everleaf, I will change the rankings. So I think as it stands, maybe we should keep the top three there. So Everleaf, Caleno, and Vibe. I'd say in that order. No offence to the guys at Vibe, because I love what you're doing and I love the product. It's just that particular flavour is pretty full on rhubarb, which is what it says on the bottle, and that's fine. But from my personal palate, I prefer something maybe with more spices or slightly complex. So I would probably put what we've done in that order so far. Right, onwards. Otherwise, I will be here all afternoon, and I'm sure you don't want that. Okay, another firm favourite of mine is Borrago. I love what these guys do. Tom is the founder of Borrago, who had a pleasure of meeting him at a couple of mindful drinking festivals ago. It's a small business, like a lot of these companies are. These aren't huge corporations. They're often people working out of small factories or from home even, producing some amazing, wonderful blends of drink. Now, again, the Borrago bottle, it just looks so damn good. It feels so good. There's lots of chunky glass here, and it just looks premium. They've really done it well. The branding, I love the logo. It says it's Paloma blend, citrus, spice, and pepper. And I can tell you, obviously, from previously drinking it, that's exactly the taste you get. 0% alcohol, which is wonderful. I suppose in terms of the logo, now, anything art related is a matter of opinion, isn't it? Now, yeah, I like it. That wouldn't be my design if I designed a bottle. I love the glass bottle, but I think Caleno are probably nailing it a bit better, and Vibe in terms of a kind of modern, funky look. This looks a little bit different to that, and I imagine that ties in with the kind of the Paloma feel that they're talking about, to reflect the flavours in the bottle. But I love what they're doing, and essentially, I suppose it's not entirely what's on the outside of the bottle, it's what's inside the bottle that's the most important thing. But I suppose I personally favour slightly more modern, funky, contemporary designs, and this is a little bit more traditional, which is fine. That's not a dig, Borrago, if you're watching this, by the way. I'm only saying that so that I keep being able to have your products. Not that you give me products, but you know what I mean. I just want to keep buying them and coming to see you guys. Oh, the smell. The smell is so good. It's so unique. It's just got so much going on. It's like there's some sweets that kids have in the UK, and they're called Parma Violets. So I don't know if any of you guys have tasted those, and they're the most unusual taste you experience as a kid, and that is what this smells of. Like a Parma Violet with a little bit of sweet, like almost a little bit of maybe lemon or lemonade type smell going on as well. But it just smells so good, so enticing. I'll just pour a little bit in. Yeah, and that smell, wow, it's so much stronger when I pour it into the glass. That's the worst one on its own by a mile. Do not drink that on its own. It tastes like gasoline. No way. It's just too strong, too punchy. And again, just to reiterate, that's not how it's meant to be drunk. Wow, the flavour of Parma Violet type. Whoa, yeah, the Parma Violet taste is just pulsating through my mouth at the moment. It's actually quite a nice taste, almost refreshing, like a kind of mouthwash of Parma. So that's quite pleasant, actually. I'm actually going to have another little taste. It tastes almost like water at first, like there's nothing, and then this Parma Violet flavour just pulsates through your mouth. But that reflects, I think, the complexity of the drink that Borrago have created, and shows you the kind of punch that it's got. Yeah, there's almost like a peppery flavour coming through now. Wow. That is the strongest one. Immediately I said don't drink it on its own, because I was taken aback by the sheer flavour, the explosion that just happened in my mouth. However, that's the most complex flavour that I've tasted out of all of them. There's stuff going on. I got pepper, I got Parma violets. Yeah, there's a lot going on with that one. Wow. So, but again, I don't think as a drink to sit down in the evening and chill and watch the television, or if you were having a party and people were coming round and you wanted to lay some of these drinks on, I don't think you would have that neat. And I'm sure Tom, the owner of Borrago, would say to me, Simon, it's not intended to be drunk neat, so why would you even talk about that? But I just wanted to experience the flavour raw without anything added to it. And with some tonic water, wow. Yeah, you get all those flavours. They're not as intense, obviously. You got the nice crisp mix with the tonic water, and it just hits the spot. It hits the right note. It's fantastic. That really is good. And again, it's an acquired taste. You know, some people may like rhubarb. Some people might like Parma violets and the associated peppery and spicy taste. You know, I'm getting those spices, I'm getting the pepper, and I'm getting all of it. And it's so good. I would place, I'm sorry Vibe, I'm just keeping the top three here, but I would now move it like that. So Borrago would be my second pick, right behind Everleaf. From the ones that we've reviewed. So I'll try and get through the other ones as quickly as possible, because I don't want to take forever. And let's go straight on to something completely different, which I saw at the Mindful Drinking Festival. It's called Stryyk with 2 Ys, and it simply says not vodka. So right there, not vodka. So it's not vodka, which is great because we don't want vodka. I love the branding, and this is what I'm talking about. Contemporary. It's just cool. It looks cool. You know, I'd be proud to have that bottle on the side in my kitchen if somebody came in and have a conversation about what not vodka is and talk about it. You know, it feels like a conversation starter. I just love it, and I'm sure anyone who came into my kitchen, if that was on the side, would ask about it and would probably want to taste it, because it just looks intriguing and interesting. Obviously the colour of the product, which I didn't actually mention with Borrago and Caleno, they're both clear. They just look like gin, just kind of clear, see-through. But I think that works really well with this bottle. The only thing that's really annoying about Stryyk is the barcode. Whenever I buy this in the shop, because it's a see-through bottle, you can never scan the barcode. And I end up having to type in the entire barcode number, and it takes me forever to buy it. But hey, what can you do? The other thing that Stryyk has got in its favour is, so these two would sell for around £20. Sometimes they're on offer in the shop, and they might go down to, you know, particularly Caleno, down to maybe £16, I think is the lowest I've seen it. Borrago you can't get in the stores in the UK here, so you have to buy it online, and you're talking around £20 a bottle. Everleaf, I believe, sits around the £15 to £20 mark. So they're not cheap. They're expensive. Sure, they last a while. You don't have to have loads of the drink in your glass, so you can make them last for, you know, even if you were drinking it every evening, you can make it last probably, you know, a good couple of weeks without needing to buy a new one. So bearing in mind I was doing between 1 and 3 bottles of red wine every night, which was £10 a bottle, it really doesn't even compare. However, cost is still important. And that's where Stryyk is doing very, very well, because this is in my local Sainsbury's supermarket, and it's £12, which is, you know, almost 60% of the cost of some of these other drinks, which is awesome. And I was really excited to see this come onto the shelves just recently, along with quite a few other alcohol-free options that I've not seen in the mainstream stores before. I just want them to get this stuff in the US though, because it's frustrating the life out of me. So Stryyk, awesome, looks great, heavy bottle, just fantastic. I love it, love the colours, love the design, and I love the smell. And do you know what it tastes like? Smells like? It smells like vodka. And I don't think it's trying to pass itself off as vodka like an alcohol-free beer is, but it's definitely got a vodka smell going on. It smells like, I don't know if you ever tasted a lemonade ice lolly, which smells kind of like lemonade, but not quite. It smells like a kind of vodka-y, lemonade-y ice lolly. But it smells good. It still smells good. And it's obviously it's not got that alcohol smell going on. So when I talk about smells, it's not the same. It hasn't got that horrible, pungent alcohol smell that nobody wants to smell. And it's not strong. It's not a strong smell. It's probably the least strongest smell out of all the ones I've tasted. So let's taste it on its own. Wow. Again, a bit like Borrago, there was nothing, and then almost a tingling, not burning, but almost a burny kind of sensation towards the back of my throat with that one. That's, wow. But it's like I've just had a chili. Oh, yeah, it is exactly like that. It's like a chili. Like a chili pepper. Hardly any flavour. I'm not picking up hardly anything in the way of flavour, just heat, like when you've had a chili. That's really unusual. I wasn't expecting that, because I've actually been really enjoying this one, as you can see from the half-empty bottle. So let's put some tonic water in and see what that does. And that really brings it to life. So you've got the sparkle of the tonic water. I'd never even really considered that kind of chili heat thing that they've got going on with it. It definitely doesn't really taste like vodka. It's got an underlying hint of that. But yeah, there's more of a kind of chili pepper thing. So if you're a spice fan and you like a little bit of a kick with your drinks, Stryyk is definitely doing that. Absolutely. Yeah, and they've really made that work. It's got a little kick going on when you have it, even with the tonic water. And the flavour's good. There's an element of sweetness with it as well as I'm not going to say bitter. It's not bitter. It's got a heat, an afterburn, which is really quite pleasant. Not on its own, I might add, but some people might like that. If you want one, in fact, yeah, maybe as an alcohol-free small shot in a glass, that's the one that's going to give you the biggest kick, so to speak. So where do I go with this? I do enjoy it. It is different. I still think Everleaf is leading the way. It's just unique. It's such a wonderful blend, and the flavours, it's just got it all going on. Borrago I love. Caleno, I think out of the two, I'm going to take the heat over the sweet, because this Caleno is a sweeter drink, and I kind of think, and it is my personal preference. This, there's no science behind it. It's just what Simon likes, and I would favour Stryyk. So yeah, if I was going away somewhere and I was allowed to pack one of these two in my suitcase, I would put Stryyk in my suitcase over Caleno. But I still love Caleno. It's just out of those, that would be my top three. Personal preference. Okay, only a couple more to go, and if you're still watching, thank you for sticking with, and I hope that my crazy review's helping you. So I'll just pour that. Maybe I should taste the bowl afterwards with all of them in it and see what that's like. The ultimate alcohol-free mix. Do you know what I'm gonna? Why not? So this one's Cedars. This was one of the first drinks, like botanical drinks, that I got into when there wasn't that much out there. And the bottle is lovely. It's a lovely chunky bottle. The mix in it is ever so slightly off-white, so sometimes it can look slightly yellow, which I don't really like. And the kind of branding rather like Borrago, it's not modern, it's not contemporary, it's kind of got a traditional English feel to it, which some people love that, and that's great. To me, I much prefer a funky design like Stryyk, as I said. And if I called Stryyk Stripe, I'm sorry, it's Stryyk, Stryyyk. I just realised I've done that. But Cedars is a more traditional looking drink, and it's just got a kind of whole English classic feel going on. And they've got a couple of different ones. This is Cedars Classic. They've got another one. I can't remember what it's called, but this is the Cedars Classic, and it says it's juniper, coriander, rose. I can't even read that word. I need my glasses. Rose geranium. That's what it says. Rose geranium. I don't know what a rose geranium tastes like, but I'm about to find out. Not a huge smell from the bottle. It always smells stronger in the glass. But again, that's not strong. There's not a lot there. Bit like Stryyk. I'm not getting loads of aroma. It's not like an assault on my nostrils with that one. Okay, so let's add some tonic. Yeah, that's good. I like Cedars. I've liked it for a while. I think if anything, I don't know. I don't know the best way to describe this. It's a nice grown up drink. It's not blowing me away. It's not too sweet. It's not too sharp. It's ticking a lot of the boxes, but I'm kind of not feeling like a huge wow factor from Cedars. And I'm sure some people will. Some people will absolutely love it, and I would totally not say don't try Cedars, because for some people it will really tick the boxes. But I'm not picking up huge specific flavours. I'm not really getting a whole lot from it, if I'm honest. So let's just give it another taste. Yeah, I think what it's done is taken the kind of fizz a little bit away from the tonic water, so it's made it a much less gassy drink. And it feels a bit more spirity. So like I'm drinking a botanical spirit. There is quite a underlying flavour there, but I'm not feeling like anything specific. Like with Borrago, I really could pick up on the spices, the pepper, the Parma flavour coming through. But with Cedars, I can't really put my finger on a specific flavour. And that, yeah, it's a weird one. I can't put my finger on it. But it's nice. It's a lovely drink, and I would drink it, all day long. Would I put it in my top 3? Sadly not. So, we just got a couple more. GINSIN is a very interesting one. What I love about GINSIN, it comes in a nice bottle, first of all. They haven't gone over the top with the bottle. It's not like a premium bottle, a big, huge, chunky glass bottle that is incredibly expensive. They haven't got a wooden bottle top or anything like that. They've kept it simple, and the logo is nothing huge to write home about. I quite like the GINSIN, because sin obviously means without in Spanish. Yeah, it is Spanish. So I quite like that play on words that they've done there. But to me, they've used the word gin, and it doesn't taste like gin whatsoever. They've got different colours / flavours. So does it even say? Yeah, this is strawberry, and this is their 12 Botanics version. I'm not going to taste the strawberry. I don't really like the kind of really fruity, syrupy tasting drinks. So where have I put that glass? There it is. So I'm going to stick to the blue one, the 12 Botanicals. And I actually order this by the case, because you can't get it in the shops here in the UK. I get it from a place in the Netherlands, and I order them 12 or 24 bottles at a time. And this is the thing I was getting to. It's so damn cheap. It's under £8 per bottle. It was as low as £6.99, I think, at one point, which is a fraction of the cost of some of these other drinks. And what I've been doing recently is I will have one of these drinks with tonic water, and then I put a splash of ginseng on the top into it, and it's first of all, it gives it a hint of blue, which I quite like, and it just adds a little bit of sweetness to the flavour and just changes it a little bit, and I really enjoy doing that. That's kind of my mix, is to have one of these. I wouldn't do it with Everleaf because it wouldn't work, but certainly Stryyk with tonic water, Borrago with tonic water, and just a splash of ginseng, it to me is the perfect mix of my kind of go-to drink. But this has been a long time since I've done this. I'm going to taste ginseng on its own. In fact, I don't think I've ever tasted it on its own, or just with tonic water. So here we go. And you know, actually, I said it's not trying to pass itself off as gin, but it does have a gin smell. There's spices going on as well. I don't know if that's juniper coming through, or maybe even coriander, but it smells good. It's not too strong, it's not overpowering, it smells nice. Yeah, that is so good. I suppose the only thing to say with ginseng is it's a bit more like a cordial, and even with tonic water, I think it's a bit too close to perhaps an orange juice that you'd add a mixer to. It doesn't have the complexity of some of the others. It doesn't have all the spices going on and all the complicated flavours that make them really stand out from the crowd. And I see ginseng as something that I add as a dash to my other drinks and nothing more than that. Would I drink that on its own with tonic water as my go-to drink? No, it's too sweet. It's too close to a drink that I might give my son, like a juice drink or something like that. So on its own with tonic water, I'm going to say no. As an addition to something else to kind of top it up or add a bit of sweetness to it, 100%. And what I didn't do, I just realised, is just taste it on its own. Yeah, and that is like a sweet syrup. Whoa, yeah, a lot of sweetness going on in that one, which I'm not surprised about because I knew that was the flavour with ginseng. But it's a great product, and it's definitely one to have in your alcohol-free drinks cabinet. But for me, like I say, I just use it as an extra splash to enhance something else. Right, what have we got left? We've got 2 more to go. This is not an alcohol-free botanical drink. So this is called Kolibri, and I discovered these recently. They are so cheap. They're in health food stores here in the UK, and you can get them for a couple of pounds. Now, in here is a drink that's kind of pre-mixed, but they're very, very strong, and you can actually use them a bit like these other drinks as a base to add tonic water to, or to add something else to. And in the top up here is a very, very strong kind of syrupy mix that you add to it in whatever measure you fancy. And they've got quite a range. This is strawberry and basil, but there's a chili and coriander one, which I absolutely love. And I think I do prefer those spices, those drinks with a bit of heat going on. Obviously this hasn't got that, and I haven't actually tried this one before. But yeah, Calibri is a great low cost way of creating. So all these tonic waters giving me like gas. What's going on? All the Calibri is a great way of having a go-to drink that's not going to cost the earth. It's not going to cost a fortune. So let's just break into this if I can get in. So you can hear there's a fizz when I open it. Whoa! Strawberries galore. pure strawberries. And again, I did say the ones that are just overpowering fruit really aren't my thing. But yeah, they're some people's things. And if you like strawberries, that's where you're going to want to go. I'm not really getting much in the way of basil right now. Okay, so this is pre-mixed, so it's meant to be drinkable from the bottle. You're not meant to add anything to it other than a little squirt from this that comes with it. But to me, that just tastes like carbonated water. It's gross. I just, no. Not on its own, it doesn't work. So you get this, and then, oh, I didn't do it on the camera. And you just add however many squirts you want. So let's now taste it with that. And that's the difference. So this is essentially like a concentrated kind of syrup that they've got, and that's giving it the strawberry punch. I can taste the basil coming through now. I still wouldn't drink that on its own, even though that's how it's intended to be drunk. I would add tonic water to it. And also you're going to get more from it. You add the tonic water, one bottle of this will last you maybe a week or however long, depending on what you drink, how often you drink. And now that tastes good. The strawberries aren't too strong. It doesn't taste syrupy. It's the zip from the tonic is just giving it that extra little punch. It works. Again, I wouldn't drink that as a kind of go-to drink. I would with the chili and coriander one, because I like that particular flavour. The strawberry and basil is not really for me, but they've got a huge range, and I just wanted to include it because I think it's something different, and the different selection of flavours just mixes it up a little bit. So I definitely wouldn't discount it. If I had a suitcase and I only had 3 spaces, right now they're the 3 that are going in it. So let's just pop that one away and get on to the final one, actually final 2. So last one is Atopia. Also, just with Kolibri, I didn't really mention the bottle. It kind of is what it is. It's not so contemporary. I do like the design, but it's a much smaller bottle. It's not really one you're going to put on display somewhere or show off. It looks more like a bottle of pop that you bought from somewhere. On the other hand, Atopia is a very, very cool bottle, and I love the design. It's chunky, it looks premium, it's got it all going on. They've got like colours on the back of the bottle there that you can see, so you can actually see through the glass here to the design that's on the back of the bottle, and I think that makes it look quite unique and unusual. Again, the actual drink itself is just clear. There's not much left in this bottle, but it's a big chunky bottle. And this is the spiced citrus. Describes itself as an ultra low spirit. So this one's actually 0.5% alcohol. Now I always mix it with tonic water. So by the time it's mixed with tonic water, it's like next to nothing at all. Alcohol-free beers tend to have up to 0.5% in them. But once you put tonic water into the equation, then it's neither here nor there really. Contains 75% less alcohol than a gin and tonic. Yeah, by the time you've added tonic, it's pretty much 99% less alcohol than a gin or tonic. But I've never tasted it on its own. So let's do it. That's an interesting smell. There's not huge smells coming off it. It's not an assault on the nostrils, as I mentioned on the last one, other than the strawberry one. Oh, and again, that tastes like a cordial or a juice. It tastes sour. It tastes like it needs something else with it. You would not drink that on its own. It needs something added. So I'm going to add some tonic water. Cool. No, you don't want that one. But with the tonic water, it comes into its own. It's definitely a sweeter one. Definitely sweeter. And yeah, it doesn't. I can't taste huge amounts of spices or anything like that. It's more of a sweet taste, not overpoweringly sweet. Totally unique taste. I like it. I love the bottle. I love the branding. In terms of the actual product, it doesn't come in to me and my taste, and it is just a matter of taste. It doesn't come in the same league as the Borrago, the Everleaf, and the Stryyk. So for that reason, I'd have to not have this in my top three. But I think for some people, that's probably going to be one of your top drinks. It's fantastic, but it doesn't really do it for me just because it's more sweetness than I like. Right, the last one, and I'm sorry I've waffled on, is what I do. This is just a kind of sample bottle of Seedlip. Seedlip was one of the first in the market for these kind of drinks. Seedlip have been around for a long time. They've got lots of different flavours. I think they've got 3 or 4 different flavours. Again, it's not cheap. It's a kind of premium product. The larger bottles look exactly the same. They're just bigger. Design-wise is okay. It's not blowing me away. It's not some huge contemporary design, but it's quite nice. This is the Grove 42. And I think Seedlip positions itself as a very premium product. You can get Seedlip in all the sort of premium hotels, the real high-end ones, the ones that I don't go to. I was on a Virgin flight recently and they had Seedlip on the alcohol-free drinks menu. So they've really positioned themselves to cater for the kind of upper class marketplace, so to speak. So let's see if it's an upper class product. And that smells, I don't know if you know the kids' sweets, refreshers. I remember them as a kid. You put them in your mouth and they kind of fizz. That smells like refreshers. Yeah, strong, just like refreshers. And tasting it on its own, it tastes a bit like water with some kind of watered down fruit in it. It doesn't. You wouldn't drink that on its own. I just don't really like that at all. And kind of sour as well. Oh my god, I haven't got much tonic water left. This will be interesting. Right, so Seedlip Grove 42 with some tonic water. Yeah, it's good. And it's got, I think what Seedlip does, it kind of waters down the fizz of the tonic water, which if you don't like it too fizzy, it works perfectly. So you can still have some tonic water. You can obviously add more if you did want the fizz. And it's got a nice flavour to it. It's complex. There's not a specific flavour coming through on that. I'm definitely not getting spices. I'm getting more of a kind of a little bit of fruit, but not too much. It's definitely not too sweet, even though it smelt like sweet. It's got it's very balanced, and tastes good. It's a kind of moorish drink, and it tastes grown up. And in fact, out of all of them, that probably tastes the most like I'm drinking a gin and tonic or something like that, I think. So if you're looking for a gin and tonic alcohol-free experience, then actually Seedlip Grove 42 might be one for you to explore, because I would say that is the most, the most like alcohol out of all of them that I've tasted. So I'm just going to pour that back in there. So that's 10 of my favourite alcohol-free drinks, and even the ones that I haven't put in the top 3, I love them all. They're all in my drinks cabinet. There'll be days when I fancy one over the other, or I might mix them with something different. I've mentioned tonic water. You don't have to have them with tonic water. You can pick and choose whatever works for you. And part of the fun of the sober lifestyle is experimenting with this stuff and finding what your new go-to drink is going to be. I absolutely loved that part of it, just exploring all these incredible and amazing drinks, which is why I wanted to do a video of me actually sharing and showing you how much I love this stuff and how important it is in my life. There's nothing better in the evening than popping on Netflix, watching whatever series I'm binging at the moment, and and having one of these lovely drinks with it, with a big chunky slice of lime, maybe some ice in the glass, a nice tonic water, just superb. So that would be my top three: Everleaf, Borrago, and Stryyk. Stryyk, again, this is new to me. I've only been drinking it for a couple of weeks, but it's really impressed me. And the fact that it's only £12 just makes it so much more budget friendly and not putting a massive hole in my pocket each time I buy a bottle. Yeah, it's doing so many great things, and it's a unique taste compared to the others. All three of those are just completely different as well. And I wanted to pick three that weren't similar. They weren't all sweet. They weren't all fruity. And that would be my go-to top three for you guys to try. But if your taste is anything like mine, then they're going to be the ones that you want to pick. So, okay, let's do the gross bit. Here we go. There's 10 alcohol-free drinks in here with a load of tonic water. I wonder if I've just created the ultimate alcohol-free cocktail. That actually tastes so good. That's amazing. So what they should do is they should put all of it into one bottle and just sell the one product, because that tastes incredible. It's got fruit, it's got spices, it tastes fantastic. I think I'm actually going to go pour that into a jug and I'm going to put it in the fridge and I'm going to have that later because that tasted amazing. I wasn't expecting that. It's just, wow, it's just got a bit of everything going on. And I'm sure if I put a slice of lime in there, it'd be incredible. So anyway, thanks for sticking with me if you've made it all the way to the end. Don't underestimate the importance of having a go-to drink. It sounds, to me at the start of the alcohol-free journey, it sounded kind of ridiculous. Why would I need a new drink? What are you even talking about with that? And then when I realised that not having wine kind of left my hand wondering what to do and wanting to have a chunky glass, wanting to feel like I've got Simon's drink, my go-to drink, I realised how very important this was. And the joy of exploring all these drinks, I can't underestimate it. I've had so much fun. I look forward to the delivery guy coming with a new bottle or something else for me to try. I love looking in the store to see what else is on the shelves. And it's part of my sober lifestyle. A bit like if you were a vegan and you're passionate about what you do, you might look for new vegan products. You might look for new restaurants selling certain vegan things. That's how I feel about this sort of thing. And I love it when new things come onto the market. And I have to take my hat off to all of the companies who are pushing the boundaries with these kind of drinks and getting themselves out there, taking risks, not being afraid to push it and to go that bit further. And it's amazing. And they've all done so much to help people who are quitting alcohol, who want to lead an alcohol-free lifestyle, just like I do. So any questions, or if you want to know more about any of the drinks, just leave me a message, leave me a comment. If not, I'm going to go and I'm going to put this bowl in a jug and put it in the fridge, and I'm going to enjoy that later on with a slice of lime and Netflix. Why not? And I will see you all very soon. Thanks for listening in. Bye.